and various other natural remedies for her illness by the looks of things, and as a consequence I was very interested to see whether she would even be featuring, as you can see out on court as the camera pans round and takes a look occasionally at the Kazan players. She is out on court, she is warming up and practicing, and so I think as far as Gamova is concerned, she looks as though she will start. Jordan Larson was in exceptionally good form yesterday. She looks as though she too will be starting. And Borisenko, the skipper, who missed the first half of the season, she'll be starting as well. So I think it's likely that we will see the same starting 7 as we saw yesterday. That will mean that Babashina starts as setter. Now, as far as Villa Corteze are concerned, will they stick with Lindsay Berg or not? She had a really off day yesterday, and as a consequence, you just wonder whether they will go with her or whether they will go with Bozzetti. Lindsay Berg, disappointing, just so disappointing yesterday, and as a consequence, Cannes were gifted several relatively easy points in that match that they defeated Villa Corteze by 3-1. Most people here think that it's going to be Fenerbahce's day, but then those people would have been surprised by the way Fenerbahce started yesterday, going down in that first set against Dinamo Kazan. And one has to remember, Kazan had their chances in set number 2, and if they'd taken those chances, well, we could have looked at a very different game indeed. On the flip side of that, Cannes gave Villa Corteze their chances, and they managed to turn around the second set, which they looked as though they were going to lose, and they very nearly closed it out in 3, but then Villa Corteze found a foothold, winning that third set by 27 points to 29. And it shows just how close all of these top women's teams are here at the Final Four, and therefore I don't think it's necessarily, on paper people would say, well, it's Kazan's to lose here, but I don't think it's that clear cut, because Villa Corteze have shown in the way that they beat Dinamo Moscow in the knockout stages of this competition that they are not fearful of Russian opposition, and that they also don't mind taking them on anywhere. They travelled very well. They won 3-0 in Moscow. And many people thought that Dinamo Moscow were going to be the team who were going to come here and probably win the title. It's the same with Cannes when we get to the final. They've defeated Vakifbank on the way through, the defending champions, and Vakifbank defeated Fenerbahce last year in the final 4 stages, prevented them getting through to the final. So all of these different scenarios that could play out today leave us really with no particular answer to where we think everything's going to go. And so as a consequence, I would like to see Villa Corteze win this one. They're the team that I think they offer more, and it's going to be very interesting to see the battle between Gamova, if she's on form, and Pavan, who is of course the big hitter as far as Villa Corteze are concerned.
Well, we just got the teams through. Of course, we'll bring that up for you in the graphics as soon as we can. But the news is that Gamova will start today, as will Pavan. Here the relative squads being shown to you, all the players available to both sides. Dinamo Kazan there with the likes of Makno, the spiker, Borisenko, who played yesterday, but really struggled to get a blocking form on. But look out for Ulyanova, the libero. She, on her day, can be an absolute top player. Jordan Larson, the number 10, to look out for too. Should be a very interesting battle today. All ready for the team presentation then. Of course, Dinamo, as we said, in the blue shirts today. Villa Corteze. There's Ulyanova, we mentioned. One of the top liberi in the world. Gamova, well, years advancing, but on her day could well be unstoppable.
Interesting battle between the liberi today, because Ramona Porari was up against Cardulo yesterday, and at times she looked very good indeed, Porari. She had a slow start, but then she came back very strongly indeed.
So here we are at this Aliyev Sports Hall. Yet to fill up fully, but we will see many more people pouring through the doors later on. Of course, lots of local support for Fenerbahce in the final later on. There's Lucia Bozzetti. Federica Stufi, we didn't see yesterday. Could be hoping to be involved as a replacement later on today. So those present in this arena just being told exactly what they're watching by the court announcer. These girls finally can get the weighting over. There's Lindsay Burke. She will captain the side again today. The American's so experienced, but just looked a little off. Good to see the smiles back. Both of these sides have spent Saturday night trying to forget their respective results during the day. Although there was some very sad news coming through from Italy, which we'll run through in just a moment's time or two. Last minute tactical talk before we see the starting sixes plus libero presented. And again, it's as we expected. No real surprises in the lineups whatsoever, really. Ryszard Gilyadzudinov, coach of the Russian side, of course, Marcela Abondanza, who's been participating quite freely and quite positively in the warm-up. In the meantime, it's hello to our refereeing teams. Piotr Dudek of Poland on the left-hand side, and from Finland it's Ati Hunanikska, who will be the second referee today. Well, no video replays as we had in Łódź last week. That system has been trialled.
Maybe a good thing, I was going to say, because the system itself, I wouldn't say it was a resounding success. I think too much confusion about when it can or can't be used. If it is to be used for the Olympics, then it needs to be sorted very quickly.
Well, that is Ryszard Gilyadzudinov, who we mentioned a moment ago, and of course the Italian Cup winner last year, Marcela Abondanza. Hence the reason they wear that Italian flag in little circles on their chests. Not quite the Scudetto for the Italian Championship, which is something that runs through all Italian sports, in fact. Nice tradition. Same happens in Turkey as well. You see the Turkish flag emblazoned on the chest of the league winners. There's Pavan of Canada. Guigi is the number 7. Cruz also starts wearing 8 Bosetti, which is in fact Caterina Bosetti who starts today. And Wilson wears 15. That's a starting 6 for MC Carnegie Villa Corteze, to give them their full name. And good to see the smiles and positive emotions back. So last minute preparations out of the way. It will be the Russian side to serve first. I can tell you that Borisenko will go for it. This is how they line up. Cruz, of course, middle blocking to start. Guigi is there. Bosetti starting in that position, number 1. Borisenko, who I mentioned, will start first. Starts in 1 as well. She'll serve first today. Moroz doing the middle blocking to start off, but look for Gamova on that left-hand side wearing 11. Some very, very interesting individual battles to come out with. Well, there is Garamova. A lot of focus on her today. She's the superstar on court. Perhaps only measured by Lindsay Berg on the other side. Plenty of eager beavers watching this one. Those who've got in early to have a look. The Italian fans here has all the Russians beating their drums away. And Piotr Dudek, our Polish referee, tells us that it's almost time to get underway. First of all, we'll have a minute's silence for the former Italian international Bovolenta, who sadly passed away yesterday whilst on court in Italy. Playing in the Italian 3rd division, former Italian international, winner of the Champions League on 3 occasions. And Vigor Bovolenta, at 37 years of age, leave behind a wife and 4 children. He will be sadly missed. Impeccably respected there. Minute silence for Vigor Bovolenta. hugely impressive presence on the court during his days. Played in the Italian national team as recently as Beijing 2008. As he would have wished, though, we get the volleyball underway. Bronze medal up for the Gabs here. Kazan serving first. Well, a disappointing start.
Yeah, a poor start from Borisenko. And the skipper very nearly getting a slice of luck there, with the ball touching the top of the net cord, but then it bounced back down. So Makari Wilson, the American international, one of the mid-season signings for Villa Corteze. Moros goes long, so it's the perfect start so far for the Italian team. And I think of the neutrals within here, Rob, with that news about the death of Valavonta, that they would want the Italian team to win.
Of course, there'll be certainly some sympathy there. And the Italians will be pumped up and charged up. They're looking nice and relaxed, and of course with plenty of will to win today. As we mentioned before, they want to do it for themselves as well, with the way that they have the important part of their season coming up. That was Gamova showing herself.
That's a superb spike from Cruz.
Well, Cruz on her way. Villa Corteze fans, around all 10 or 12 of them making themselves heard. Nice hit as well. Bit of a gap in the middle there of the wall. Now here's Pavan. Can show great strength on that left-handed serve as she needs to do. Setting us up there. Larson can't quite hit through. Over in 2 from Berg. Already looks a little more alive than she did yesterday. But that is a questionable piece of receiving from Caterina Bozzetti.
Well, we see Jordan Larson for the first time there, and disappointed she didn't get her first spike away. Second one, though, through the defence.
3-2 then. Here comes Gamova, 32 years of age, 2 meters 2 tall. That's down the line. The Italian set will be in. Referee Mr. Dudek says otherwise. He saw it well. Of course, it's also that bit more difficult for the referees not having the video evidence here. Because we can see their errors, but they can't rectify those errors.
It is how volleyball's been operating, though, for many years. And Pavan through the middle for the first time. Beautifully clean hit.
Takes us on a 4-3 side out for Villa Corteze. This is how it came about. Lovely high setting from Berg this time. Manoeuvring about the court with a little more enthusiasm. Here's Aurea Cruz. Over on 2. There might have been a net touch there. Referee spotted it nice and easily. Babeshina looking on. After she knew she made a little error. Carocci, by the way, libero today.
Second time Moros has been used through the middle there successfully.
Well, let's see if the introduction of Carocci as libero can change things today. Guerrari not being used at the moment. Here's Moros. Carocci takes down. Bozzetti. Oh, well. There's the block. Nicely executed by Kazan. Takes us to 5-5.
Well, once again, the criticisms of Lindsay Berg, she was very slow onto that. As a consequence, there was only one option for her to aim at, and the block all over that defensively. All square once more.
Regina Moros again, 25-year-old, with those glasses. Through the middle was defended well. Gamova involved. Might have been a touch there. The referee says yes. Jonathan nodding his head beside me. Saw it very well.
Yeah, that was excellent play. And the interesting thing there was the Gamova's flexibility at the back of the court to keep it alive. And we didn't really see her yesterday showing that sort of form. Ominous signs in many ways.
A little bit of a mix-up. In the end, Pavan gets involved. Bozzetti clever enough to force the touch off the block. off rolls. Carocci, 23-year-old from Tuscany, started a career with Lucca. Well known for its quality natural products, olive oil.
Beautiful part of the world. Gamova for the first time.
Gamova there. That means that Carocci will roll back on to finish the point we were making. As we see the point without her involvement. She'll be hoping to bring that quality to the table here. Serve from Larsen, always the danger. Berg having a bump set this time. Bozzetti from behind the line, that's good blocking. Carocci on her own and hung out to dry there.
First technical then, and it's a 2-point advantage to Kazan. Yep, it's on the Jordan Larsen serve at the moment, and the interesting thing there was just how exposed Villa Corteze were in defence, and Carocci all on her own, unable to scamper across to keep it alive. Even if she had done, I don't think she really had any support.
Exactly. Lady towards the wall, towards that net, trying to build the wall. There's Gamova who takes on fluid. In the meantime, it's a calm first technical talk from Ryszard Giliazudinov. No problems of communication in that Russian side at all, really. Larsen there, but I'm sure that there are plenty of people who have played internationally and able to relay the messages. The rest, of course, fluent Russian speakers. All ready to go again then. 8-6. This match just settling into a nice pattern now. Kazania fans make themselves heard for the first time. Flags are waving over to our right. Takedown by Bozzetti. There was decent control there, but it left Berg with work to do and meters to make up. So it's Babashina for Gamova, who makes no mistake whatsoever.
Very, very interesting to see just how effective Jordan Larsen's serve is proving here yet again. And Gamova through the middle for the third time in this set already, and she is yet to miss.
So 9-6, interesting gap opening up here. Cruz, Berg, it's wide. And that is just inside the bounds of where the ball was expected to land for the Italians. Bozzetti aiming for the corner. Just about finding it, as we'll see here. Not far away. Berg with a float serve deep into the libero Yulanova. Gamova again. And she's looking like she's getting the gears going now.
Such a clever spike, that one from Gamova, because she just took a lot of pace off it and went for accuracy in on Berg, who is a weak link in that defensive position. Advantage is handsome.
Babashina. Cruz, who takes down. Spiker from Puerto Rico down once more. The ball had bounced in front of her. Really stern resistance there from Borisenko. Means that Babashina will continue. The gap now is to 4. Into a vital pot in this set. Good control. Berg got there late though. And that Cruz could only push the ball. Here's Berg again, setting from well behind. Decent spike out of it. Carocci's down well. Cruz from the back line. Still going here, Babashina. Berg needs a good set. Pavan. Oh, it's well blocked. Well, try and try and try. The Italians kept coming, but there was always resistance from the Russian side.
Well, point of the match so far, and it calls for a team timeout for Villa Corteze as they trail by 5. But absolutely superb defence. We saw Ulyanova there getting involved. We saw some great play from Carocci, but in the end, just that presence, the massive presence of Ekaterina Gamova at the net, enough to block it away.
Marcella Bondanza with things to say. Hands up, saying 5 points. How's it happened? Well, the Russian side, nicely consistent. Should be no problem of understanding what's going on for Lindsey Berg. She's been in Italy since the midway part of the last decade. Started off with Scavolini Pesaro, also been in Novara, which is very close to Milan as well. Villa Corteze, just on the other side of Milan, on the east, very close to Bergamo. Now back with Bambashina, serving well. Float serves that has done her side's chances no harms. That's nicely played though. Great time to get the side up. Just what Villa Corteze were looking for. You get the feeling if they hadn't racked that side up there, then their chances might have very quickly disappeared in this first set. Bambashina having meters to make up. Oh, that's too easy for Gamma. Far too easy in the far corner. And I think you made yesterday the point, John, about reaching so high above the block. Getting the height of the blockers there, not really effective. Cruz peeling off, looking to defend the corner. She couldn't get down. Oh, that's a good serve. A very good serve from Borisenko. 14-8 now. Villa Corteze need a reaction. 6 points the difference. It moved, it swerved, it dipped ferociously. Cruz couldn't get there. And we have a first change. It's the Bosetti sisters switching places. On comes Lucia. Caterina takes her leave of the court. Have to stand in the corner of the Stuffi, who's on her own out there. Cruz. Good takedown by Bambashina. There's Gamova. And again, nothing going for the Italian side. 15-8 here to Kazan. We've had one timeout taken by Abondanza, and if it continues this way, it might not be long before we see it again. Abondanza looking round, thinking about making a change. In the meantime, we concentrate on Borisenko, Russian captain. Cruz sort of grew on her there. That's out though. First real mistake we've seen by Pavan. First chance it's been set for her.
Second technical, and it's an 8-point difference, and that is an extraordinary turn of events from just a close proximity between these two sides. 8-6, remember, at that first technical. It's been all Kazania since, and we just saw in that last exchange, I mean, Bambashina's dig was just extraordinary. What a great takedown that was, and they just look that much more committed out there at the moment than the Italians, who are looking a little lackadaisical for my liking.
Plenty to cheer for those who've made the jersey from mid-Russia. Lost out against the Yellow Angels of Fenerbahce yesterday, but the Ladybirds of Dinamo Kazan not able to emulate the male achievement last week. Zenit winning the title, but they're comfortably ahead here in this bronze medal matchup. 16-8. And I think eager to get going again. These sort of weights, when you have the momentum going, aren't doing any favours to the side that are ahead. Villa Corteze, at least they have time to try and just put an end to this growing momentum that the Russians seem to have acquired. Borisenko again to go. Takedown by Cruz. Better hands this time. Good combinations between Wilson and Berg. Still not too disappointing for Kazan, though. They're showing themselves in every block. Marina Bambashina waiting. Cruz it is with the serve. Larson took down. And immediately the outside hitter was able to set up an efficient side out, I should say. Put home nicely by Moros.
Everything has been very efficient from the Russians. Since that first technical timeout, they have been the dominant force here.
Here's Lesia Makno, 1m88 from Russia. 30 years of age. It took a time, I think, John, to get into the Russian national side. Drafted into the team that won the World Championships in Japan in 2010. So I'm reliably informed.
Well, that was an extraordinary year for the Russians, and a year where Gamova, who one has to remember has been such a towering presence in this sport for over a decade, still picked up MVP, and it just shows how effective she can be. Fantastic block there at the net from Larson.
It's Pavan. Babashina making up the meet as well. Cleverly played, but Cruz is wise to it. Come from back line here, Lucia Bosetti very intelligently buying her team some time. Nowhere near enough though. They can set themselves up defensively all day long, but it's so hard to defend against a side with that momentum coming on to spike with an outside hit as good as that. Again, cuts across the ball as well.
Well, Jordan Larson was getting a little overexcited there, thought she was serving, and then realised that they just won the point on their own serve.
Bosetti takes down. There's Pavan, still going here. Resistance in every block. Ulyanova. Clever setting and even better spiking from Larson. She knew she was up against it there. By no means perfect the set.
I think Moroz took that one straight in the face, which is maybe why she wears glasses. But that was a little earlier on in the rally. Then Ulyanova coming in and doing the bump set. Jordan Larson finishing it off. It's the second team timeout. 10 points the difference. Kazan romping away with this first set.
So plenty of work for Marcela Bondanza. Really has to earn his corner today. And he'll be hoping for once that the girls are going to take some notice of him. Ten points the difference then. Strong serving. Problems all over here for Villa Corteze. Oh, and that was so easy. Right from the serve. It went deep, it wasn't watched well. And Villa Corteze always on the back foot. The rally never really destined to last long. There was Berg unable to take down. Again, setting's been much better today from Lindsay Berg. However, she's still struggling on reception. It ceases to amaze me how she struggles to get around the court sometimes. Here she is. Rescues that one well. (21-9) though. Only one way that this first set is going. One to forget, I think, for Villa Corteze.
They're going to have to forget it very quickly as well, Rob, because Kazan are going to have a fantastic momentum.
Babashina out wide to Larson. Now that is what was required. And it's the introduction of Baburkova, the Czech blocker, which has finally seen something happen. (21-10). So we'll see Pavan on serve now. Sara Pavan. 1.96 m tall, the tallest in this Italian team. Left-handed high ball toss, venomous serve. Great rescue. Babashini did excellently well there, and that's long. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
3 points then away from taking this opening set as another change is made by Abondanza.
Well, we've seen the rotations quite heavily now. Stuffi is there. And now Pincerato is the latest introduction. Off goes Pavan. Wilson sitting down, as is Cruz, with Lindsay Berg also relegated to the bench. Time to think about things ahead of the next set, we think. Barbarkova. Here's Babashina now. Oh, well, wonderful hitting. Waited in the air, desperate to be hit that ball. Right on the line.
Jordan Larson has been one of the players of this Final Four for me. She has been exemplary. Even yesterday, when all around her were losing their heads, she just kept it.
It's a nice reception by Bosetti for once. Stuffi will have a chance and never really got high enough. However, the block is out. Punch of the air. She's been waiting for a chance all weekend as Federica Stuffi. Float serve from way behind the line. Babashina. Now Larson. Villa Corteze just starting to put 2 or 3 together. That's what they need ahead of this second set.
Yeah, a good little run here. If they could bring themselves up to, let's say, they'll make a target for themselves, maybe 17 points, win 5 of the next 9.
Barbatkova again. Long serve once more. Ulyanova deals with it exemplary fashion. Good takedown though. Karocci. Ulyanova. Babashina. Put away. To be so careful not to touch the net there, but in doing so, put the ball out cleanly. That will be set point already, John.
Yeah, it brings up set point, and I just think Giuigi once again showing slightly sluggish movement across the court.
Well, Guigi's been poor this week, and yesterday didn't really get into the game at all. Today almost anonymous in this first set. It's Kuznetsova, I should say, pardon. Serving for the set. Karocci. Stuffi. First set point is saved, and Stuffi already having a decent impact.
Well, she's looked very good since coming on, Stuffi. Not used at all yesterday.
Certainly not the greatest of sets for her there. Would have been in any way, hadn't it taken the touch. Guigi to serve. Babashina. This for the set, and there it is. Dinamo Kazan robbing to the first set here, 25-13. Villa Corteze with so much work to do. It's taken less than 25 minutes thus far. And unless the Italian side buck their ideas up, then something is not going to last very long here. That's something, this bronze medal match. Dinamo Kazan and their supporters at the far side of the pitch are absolutely delighted. They'll switch sides, hoping to continue the momentum. We'll leave you with the best images of set 1. Also wait to see if there's an Italian reaction. Welcome back here to the Azerbaijani capital, Baku. You're watching coverage live from the CEV Volleyball Champions League bronze medal match here. It is Dinamo Kazan are currently bossing the thing against the Italian rivals Villa Corteze from the north of the country. Also, we're watching the highlights. There are plenty of chants of Russia, Russia from their supporters. And with every reason to take great pride in the girls who are representing them at the moment. Well, that team talk will be along the lines of more of the same, please, I'm sure. The likes of Machno, who we can see, Borisenko, Larsen, Gamova, nobody has put a foot wrong. The Italians, though, their effort leaving a lot to be desired. It looks as though they're going to start with Lucia Bozzetti again instead of Caterina, her sister. For the moment, looks like perhaps the only change. We'll wait to see the 6 that will start this second set. In fact, to tell a lie, Caterina is back. Lucia Bozzetti will also start. The player that has to sit out at the start of this set is Aurea Cruz. Quick look at the stats. Plenty of attacks from Villa Corteze, but the defence that we've seen both at the net and in backcourt from the Russians has been something quite special. American international Lindsey Berg to get us started. Such an experienced player. Has been playing in this competition for a long time too. All the noise at the minute being made by those Russian supporters.
Being encouraged by their mascot, a ladybird.
Poor setting there from Babashina to start. Berg's going to get a chance. Once more, that excellent defending. Really, really well done from a position it looked like they should have lost the point from.
Well, that was some brilliant play by Lesia Makno on 2 occasions. First of all, to keep the ball in play after the poor set from Babashina, and then, as we just saw, to win the point.
Well, Lucia Bosetti disappointed there, quite understandably so. Here's Borisenko, captain. Ooh, well, down the line, power. Really doing for Larsson there.
Yeah, power, precision, pace.
Hold the P's. It's 1-1. Wilson. Well, it's only 3 points played, but again, that superiority in defence and at the net already looking very, very obvious.
Moros and Makno combining on that occasion. Both Bosetti girls finding it very hard to get their spikes away.
Makno. Berg. Oh, once more the blocks there. This time it's gone on the wrong side as far as the Russians are concerned. Stroke of luck for the Italians. Gamova, who's been present and correct again during this match. Makare Wilson. Babashina having worked to rescue that ball. Down again, this is Ilyanova who will bump set here for Gamova. Berg, out wide, good change of direction, and that is a lovely hit from Caterina Bosetti. Best piece of play we've seen from her all weekend.
Best piece of play we've seen from Villa Corteze in this match, really.
Emphatically hit. Nice angled effort. Here's Wilson. Larsson. Unlucky. Bosetti going for that one. But again, too hot to handle, really. (3-3). World volleyball superstar Gamova on serve. Berg. Good change of direction. Pavan's there. Chance for Larsson in the corner. Be kept alive by Bosetti though, Lucia Bosetti this time. Pavan, too strong and far too accurate for Babashina on the far side.
Real frustration shown by Jordan Larsson. Now, we saw her get very, very upset yesterday when the match finished. When Kazan came off court against Fenerbahce, she was absolutely fuming with the performance of some of her teammates, I think.
Pavan, libero work, leaving a bit to be desired there. First bit of blocking that's good from Villa Corteze. Double touch though, might have looked a bit harsh there. We'll see on the replay.
Well, it's something the referees always look very, very closely at when it's a non-setter.
Well, you can see the spin on the ball as well. Very good point there that you make. The rules in the indoor game very much more relaxed than they are on the beach now. Get away with a lot setting, but when there's so much spin, it's difficult to do so, as we see the last point put away beautifully. 5-4 Villa Corteze, but Moros will have serve. Goggles on means business. Great serve as well. Oh, brilliantly put away. Super stuff.
That really was absolutely splendid. Getting in there. Borisenko at the net, just doing everything that she needed to bring us back all square. A minor advantage that Villa Corteze had eked out for themselves in this second set has gone.
Moros tries the same. This time the target is Lucia Bosetti. Certainly a team tactic of theirs to put her under pressure. Borisenko, first touch from Pavan, not good enough to fight a teammate. Nobody able to make the pass. 6-5 and Kazan shifting through those gears once more. Porocci desperate to try and chase back. Moros 2 from 2. Caterina Bozzetti this time. Guigi in.
Fortunate one, that one for Guigi, because she did not hit it cleanly.
Miss hit, complete miss hit. I think if it had have been hit properly with the amount of power that she wanted, it would have gone out. There's Julianova, Babashina, right from the backcourt, and that was a typical hit from Gamova. Joust is won by Lucia Bozzetti. Here's Larson. Oh, wow.
She'd just gone off the boil a little bit, Jordan Larson, but she's right back on point there, and now she serves. It is exactly the same situation that we found ourselves in set number 1, and it was at this point that Larson managed to win a point on serve and take Dinamo in at the first technical, leading by 2. Can she do the same?
Two-time World Grand Prix winner, 2010 and 2011, United States of America.
Well played by Guigi. She reacted quite brilliantly there, so we are going to be as close as we possibly can at this first technical timeout in the second set, which will be very much more beneficial to Villa Corteze.
Will be drawing a lot of confidence on what's going on, as you see Martina Guigi. Gamova. This time goes for precision rather than power. Wasn't enough, that block. Neither. But in the end, Lindsay Berg unable to find her teammate. 8-7 Kazan. And as Babashina walks off, job done. Kazan, you know, they still just about have control over things here. Remember, they're set up. First set won so convincingly that these girls now probably being told, okay, you're back in the match. However, there are still more adjustments to make.
Interesting thing that we find ourselves in a very, very similar scenario to the first set, with a close proximity, as Katarina Gamova takes on some more smelling salts, so obviously not feeling 100% still. However, she has looked more on top of her game. She doesn't look well though, does she? Massive bags under her eyes, as though she hasn't been sleeping well at all. As far as Villa Corteze are concerned, they cannot afford to do what they did in the previous set at this particular juncture. This is where Kazan won 5 points on the bounce, opened up a massive advantage, and indeed they went on to dominate the period between the first and second technical timeouts. It was 16 points to 8 they led, remember, at the second technical in that opening set. So they'll be looking to try and press home an advantage here. They had a good run on Babashina's serve. Well, they did the same here.
Well, for those of you looking on at our pictures in the base of your screen, happy Novruz holiday is the Azerbaijani New Year. All country off work this weekend. Berg. Good take by Babashina, who was down very well with the right hand. Lindsay Berg puts it nice and high, and that was all set up for the hit from the backcourt. 8-8. Very nicely played by Pavan.
Yeah, good hit from Pavan, this one, to bring it back all square. You talk about it being the new year and that everybody's off work. Very interestingly, there's quite a lot of industrial work going on at the moment, plenty of building sites around Baku. So one of the more bizarre things I think I've ever seen this morning from my position in the gym, as Jordan Larson spiked brilliantly through the middle, which was a digger sitting right on the edge of a massive hole with the digging mechanism full of dirt. It was as though someone had just looked at the clock and gone, oh right, is it that time? I better go home. Better go home now. It's time to go on holiday.
Well, they're off to watch the volleyball. Let's hope so.
Oh, poor judgment on the Borisenko serve, ace.
Oh, and it's a big ace as well. Look at that. 2 points opened up. And remember, those of you new, perhaps, to watching volleyball, 2 points, the advantage that you have to win a set by. It's also the advantage on which control is measured. However, no control on that.
Second foul serve from Borisenko, so cancelling out all of that good work.
10-9. Villa Corteze still in with a shout in the second set. It's a set you feel they need to win if they're to do anything in this match. Takedown's poor. And they clawed it right back.
Well, that was a really good serve from Lucia Bozzetti. Seen her used sometimes in the international team to come on as a specialist server. Crucial points and sets.
Janova. It's Gamova. Nicely kept alive by the libero. Fairly unorthodox fashion as well. She'll pass the ball high now. Babashina. And that is just about forced home by Moros.
Interesting play, this one from Moros. Just manages to slide it across the block, and Makari Wilson will be disappointed.
Here's Machno. And that's one to forget for Caterina Bozzetti. And they work so hard to get that little advantage back on level terms again. And with consummate ease, let's just open up once more. Just the level of control and will to be able to do things that you feel the Russians have in the power. That's better though. Nicely put away.
Now Caterina Bozzetti has had a couple of good hits in this set so far.
Well, she hits well from that opposite side. Now then, here's the change of Ejova replacing Machno. Ejova, who can play as a libero. But there, it was the girl in the yellow shirt today, Ulyanova. Perhaps should have done better. Decent serving though. Makari Wilson. But again, the service is just about right. Villa Corteze ahead now for the first time.
Well, this set taking on a very different look to the one that we saw about 15-20 minutes ago. However, remember, Villa Corteze got themselves into a very strong position against Cannes yesterday in the second set. Lost 4 points in a row right at the end, which saw them go down. That's brilliant work from Larsen to keep that alive and give Gamova a really good chance on the spike, and then take full advantage going cross-court there. Jordan Larsen is carrying the team at times.
That was poor work again from libero Ulyanova. Not having a best moment, but that was wonderfully played. Chance of Kazan. Gamova. Bozzetti. Bozzetti goes again and finds the floor.
Good combination play there from the sisters. Bump set from Lucia, put away by Carolina.
Two ladies in the wall. Easily hit around them. Just blocking off that line, doing that. And hoping for the spiker to hit wide. That's the tactic. And Villa Corteze failing on serve. Well, they've been so good over the last few points.
Interesting to see Sarah Pavan has not come to the fore quite as much as she did in yesterday's match. Hasn't served well either.
Moros again with that long serve, trying to cause problems. Needs a good second touch. It got it as well. More defending to be done though. Bozzetti, there's the block. And well, it's always worth staying in a rally because you never know how it might end.
Well, it's Babashina with the block there, and one of the shorter players on court as well, the setter. And she did incredibly well to get across to this.
Lindsay Berg saying, well, don't worry, we'll take that one. That was my fault. Big moment in this second set now. Passage of play that will decide its direction. Counter-attack time. Oh, but there's the block. And it's well executed by Caterina Bozzetti.
Well, the Russians are going to be disappointed here. Borisenko, only one player to hit round, and she failed to do so.
Here's the change then. Cruz is into the play. Bozzetti off to have a talk with her coach. Get the feeling we'll see her again in just a moment's time.
Still nothing to separate these two.
Aurea Cruz of Puerto Rico. Over on two from Babashina, well dug out by Cruz. However, it was asking a little much. Berg trying to poke it into space. 16-15, technical number 2 of set 2. Kazan just about ahead. Difficult, Jonathan, to see exactly where we're going here.
Yeah, it's a close set. And as far as close sets are concerned, we've seen both of these teams play in close sets so far in this final four. Villa Corteze have the slightly better record in that they played in 2 sets that went right to the wire. They lost one of them, but they did come through in the other test. Kazan, they lost out against Fenerbahce yesterday in the one close set they had. The others were all pretty one-sided. 16:15, we've yet to have any team technicals taken. And the coaches will be pleased not to have had to use either of those up. And it is regular side-out volleyball that we've been seeing so far, but just the smallest of advantages that can be taken by either side from now on in will probably prove to be vital. It's Jordan Larson serving as well, and this could be a very big moment as far as this set's concerned. She can get a little run behind her, Kazan could go away and win this set and take a 2-love lead.
Here goes Larson in towards the libero, Carocci. Berg unable to help things there. It was too easy, 17-15, and we were asking the question of where this was going. What a time to open up a 2-point gap. So easy for Borisenko.
All came from the serve though.
Larson, gain into the middle.
Well, an important moment there, and Giuigi managing to force the block out. Great work as well on the return. Came there from Carocci.
Here's Guigi. Gamava went long. Well, time to perhaps give credit to the character shown here by the Italian girls. I should say those girls representing Italy. Kept hitting back. Here they go again with Guigi. Better reception this time, Babashina. Cruz attempted to poke cross court. This now is Machno. A little more venomous on the second occasion. Still kept alive. Nicely played flat as well. Gamova makes no mistake, and after the wave and wave of attacks come, eventually, surely there has to be a spike home. And this was it.
Very controlled on this one again from Gamova.
Just cut across the ball. Not always room in the indoor game to play the cut shot. Lovely takedown. Machno. Julianova, very alert to the ball. Babashina setting up nicely, and it's put home by guess who? Gamova again.
No, Gamova, great angle of attack there. 2-point advantage opened up once more by Dinamo.
Cruz down, but that is a great serve. There's 3, and here come the timeouts. It was swerving, it was dipping, and it was pretty vicious. 20-17, clearer pattern developing.
Well, this is now a make or break really for Villa Corteze. If they go 2 sets to love down, very hard to see them finding a way back in.
There's still an adjustment to the block to be made. Rishat Gilyadzudinov knows that his girls can't afford to go to sleep here. Certainly with the fact that Villa Corteze have shown a lot more life in this set. Already much more heavily contested. Around 45 minutes in. 1 set up, Dinamo Kazan. But not far away from making it 2-0. They're making it very, very difficult for these Italians to come back. I'll be watching the bronze medal match if you're joining us a little late. Stay with us because gold medal will come up very, very much later on. 7 p.m. local time. That's GMT +4 if you're setting your watches. Pavan against the wall, and well, that blocking tactical talk there has done its job.
The question must be posed here. When are we going to see Marcello Avondanza take his second timeout, because that's pushed the lead up to 21 points to 17.
Babashina to serve. Rossetti's Hogging over the ball. Yeah, and that sibling rivalry doesn't do them any favours. 22-17, it's timeout time, and it's a last chance saloon for the Italians. Perhaps, as far as the match is concerned, we'll see. 5 the difference. Great period of play post-timeout there for the Russians. So often you see momentum stopped in the end. They just drove it on. They'll be looking to do the same here. 3 more points, and the second set will be theirs. See the observers down there. It's Babashina again. It's been a deadly run from her. One of a couple in this set. It's a little luck this time. Ooh, Libero and Berg getting mixed up. And again, it has allowed confusion to reign over at the net. No real setup for the spike. 23-17. I'm afraid as a contest, this second set is now over.
It'd be frustrating for Rabondante to see his girls get so close to matching Kazan point for point, and then just see it tail away at this vital juncture as well. On the Babashina serve for the second time in the set, as you say, Rob. A good run.
So often, Bon, we've seen the Italians dominate this tournament over the last few years. But this year, perhaps the wrong Italian side arrived at the Final Four to make it a competitive one. They've been the worst team thus far by quite a clear margin.
Well, I don't know whether that's necessarily the case, because as they showed with their victory over Bergamo, Volley Bergamo are no longer the powerhouse that they once were.
Set point, by the way. Here's Babashina. Oh, again, there's problems. This time for Caterina Bosetti. Carucci required now to try and rescue it. Ulyanova, this for the set. Magno, and there it is. 25-17. Once they pressed on that accelerator pedal, it was over very, very quickly indeed. And you just got the feeling right the way through that set that Kazan were holding something back.
Yeah, it was just a perfect set as far as the Russians are concerned. They played competitive volleyball for the opening 30 or so points, pulled themselves away when they needed to, and just moved through the gears. That was all they really needed to do in that, and by moving through those gears, they come out in the end 25-17. It makes it look as though Villa Corteze were not even in that set, and yet they were right up until the second technical.
Well, plenty to dance and cheer about at the minute for Dinamo Kazan. These girls will be joining in soon, certainly if it continues. Just having a laugh at what they saw on the big screen there. Exactly the same as you were seeing at home. And they'll be hoping to give them more to cheer about.
Oh, absolutely, Rob. You were talking about the fact that the Italian volleyball has taken a bit of a nosedive in this competition, and it is interesting to note that last year Scavallini Pesaro were the team that got through to the Final Four from Italy. They came in 4th position. Previous to that, the 6 previous tournaments had been won by Italian teams, Perugia winning twice and Volley Bergamo winning 4 times. So it does seem to be the end of an era, and it also felt as though it was an end of an era in the men's game as well, when we saw Tolentino finally ousted.
Well, seeing the, first of all, we'll run through the stats for you. More attacks from Kazan this time. All the errors being made by Villa Corteze, but 6 blocks to 1 tells you the story of the second set. More about that shift of power in volleyball in a minute. First of all, let's get this third set underway. And get it underway, of course, with the captain, Borisenko, who starts again in that position 1 for Kazan. Left-hand side of the screen for those of you joining us a little late. 2 sets to 1, or 2 sets to 0 up. Kazan hoping to make it a whitewash. Not many will bet against them at the minute either.
No, they do seem to be very, very in control here.
Finally we get the okay. One apiece there.
Clever play from Gamova at the net there. Sure, the exposed part of court, and just touched it in.
So change of setters, Lindsay Berg off. Certainly worth a try in this third set now. Cerato. Often it certainly can change the way a team plays, and quite dramatically. Babashina. Good lift on. Chance for Pincerato to work her magic again. Goes wide. Pavan. And that's much better. Now going back to this shift of volleyball powers, we've seen it as well in the men's game at international level. Era of Brazilian dominance certainly looks like it's over as well. Russia catching up. Of course, having the money as well in the Russian league to attract those superstars domestically. From the international scene, they're so strong. Winning the World Cup at Japan. Poland are back. Italian team taking a little dip. And of course, we've seen it in the European Champions League as well. Very interesting Olympic Games coming up in London, both men's and women's point of view. Here we are with the women, and with Pavan in particular. Babashina. Nicely worked on. Well, for Kazan, I'm sure it'd be interesting for them to keep parity and try and side out whilst the Italians are buoyed by the introduction of their new setter, which does often give your team a lift. This brings new ideas to the table. If they can do that, then I'm sure they'll be confident of pushing on again. Pincerato. Oh, great take. So unlucky that she couldn't find the teammate. Did brilliantly just to get down there, did Macno. Good hit by Guigi.
Jordan Larson, class act down the line there.
Different sort of spike. It had to be measured. In the end, I think she played the cut shot. She did. Not easy to execute, with 2 up in the wall there. All sorts of things to get right technically. Same time too. And with less pressure though here, Kazan. They're well ahead and they know it. Of course, the flip side of that is they could relax too much. There's Martina Guigi. 28-year-old Italian for Babashina now. Regulation side-out stuff. Spike wasn't easy, it was nicely placed by Larson. Opposite hitters had a great weekend.
Well, for me, she remains, or should remain, right in the mix for MVP of this tournament so far.
Nice setting by Pincerato. Vianova. Oh, they can keep going here. Counter-attack chance. Oh, the Italians have dug themselves out of jail there with a great block in the corner. Looked as though they'd given the momentum of that point away.
Just not quite enough height on the set for Jordan Larson on that occasion, and as a consequence the block was easier, but it was a great piece of play.
Abashida over on two, very, very efficiently. Element of surprise that can always help things. Marina Bareshina. This is her. Pincerato sits behind her. Lucia Bosetti attempting to spike then. This now is Gamova, and that is the expected result when she goes to meet the set that high.
It's great work from Larson on the floor, scrambling around with a takedown. Then the set for Gamova, giving that slender advantage back to Kazan.
Long and it's in. Just about in, and that could be a vital moment as far as the morale as the Italians are concerned.
It's not the first time that there's been poor judgment from Bosetti.
We saw it yesterday, I think, didn't we? Extremely poor on that occasion. Abashina again. Remember, she's the lady who did all the damage on her serve in the last couple of sets. Caterina Bosetti's equal to her this time. Great play by Libero. Easy to make a bad touch there. Certainly wasn't a driven ball. Guigi. Larson, a long way to make that up. Kept it alive. Chance there for the Italians, who, as expected, put away well.
Well, fantastic point to really get your teeth into. But as we see there, after Jordan Larson's great attempt from the back of the court just to keep the point in play, it was well put away. Ulyanova with no chance, and an important point that was too for Villa Corteze.
Lucia Bosetti's serve. Up by the Gamova. Tries to measure it down the corner. Nice one-handed dig. Pincerato's had a very good game since she's come on. Babashina. Hammered down.
Magno makes sure of it, taking us into the first technical in this third set. A 2-point advantage finally eked out there by Kazan. They've been threatening to pull into a 2-point lead for quite some time. They now have it cast in stone, but it's a slender advantage, but it still puts them very much in control at this particular juncture in the set, and they are of course very much in control as far as the match is concerned. 2 sets to love up.
Marcella Bondanza not having a good morning at the office. It's been a very sad weekend anyway in Italian volleyball, hence the reason the girls are wearing the black marks on their tops. Ladybirds showing all their colours for Dinamo Kazan. And their supporters have been left very, very happy after having made the journey down from Russia. Maria Borisenko, 26 years of age, captain of this Dinamo team. A minute on course for bronze. Bosetti, Lucia Bosetti, then Magno helps up brilliantly. Almost sat down to take that one. Here's Pincerato, wide to Caterina Bosetti. Russian defense once more. That's a poor reach. Put under pressure. But again, amazing how they keep themselves in these rallies.
It was a very, very good rally, that one, up until the point that Gamova was just too relaxed, now trying to steer it home.
Babashina. Measured hit into space, and again a huge gaping hole in the defense that wasn't looked after. That's exactly where it went. Look at that. 6 players stood in all around. Almost in a circle there, really. 9-7, and Magno, who's been increasingly strong as this game has gone on. Serves. Bosetti. Bang into the wall. That's 10-7, and the gap now starts to grow. We're following a very similar pattern here to the first set.
Will Abondanza wait for it to get to 12-7 before he calls a timeout, as he did in that first set, or will he take one after this next point, should it go the way of the Russian team?
That's nicer, and that's Sarah Pavan. Most consistent player for Villa Corteze this weekend. Strong left-hander as Macno is relieved of her duties for a moment. Back comes Ejova. Of course, a clever move because she's another defensive player, possible libero. Should be able to pick the ball up nicely. It's Julianova. Poor setting, very poor setting. Good enough to keep going as Carot. She does her job. Pincerato sets nicely and Caterina Bosetti forces back. Well, it's been a good reaction. 2 on the spin now from Villa Corteze. 10-9. Abeshina. Julianova having to bump set here. Gamova arriving. Difficult not to touch the net there. Italians can come again though. Set over the net. Chance for a move to be built. And that move is a winning one.
Once again, Jordan Larson is the player that they turn to when they need to come up with the goods, but the Russians given a bit of a let-off there. There were a couple of opportunities in that rally where Villa Corteze would have fancied their chances. Didn't really take them well though.
Ekaterina Gamova getting very lucky.
And that sort of luck is just not what Villa Corteze need at this juncture.
Had a block into the mix, and we're suddenly at 13-9.
Abondanza contemplates the timeout.
Well, he knows which way this is going. There needs to be some seismic style shift now. Momentum firmly in favour of the Russians. That is a last-minute reaction from Pincerato that went wrong. It's 14-9. It's timeout time, and it's Villa Corteze with all the changes needing to be made.
Interesting, isn't it, that we have yet to see Ryszard Gilyotudinov take a team timeout. Hasn't needed to.
One man who's taken time out from supporting the Dinamo Kazan hockey team for a moment to come and have a look how it's done the volleyball. And this is how it's been done today. 23 minutes, and could be on for a quicker third set at the minute. They think it's nearly done. They're halfway taking the banner down. The Italians, well, they might love Villa Corteze. They've made some friends with the Fenerbahce fans this week, and I'm sure they're supporting the Turks later on. Julianova, Babashina, Gamova. Add another to the score. Ticking along very nicely if you're of a Russian persuasion at the minute. Gamova now to serve. No way through. Pincerato will try again. And Caterina Bosetti, who's been spiking quite nicely in this set, gets another right. Lovely alt to the back. A nice hit down to the floor. Abashina has to set from low down for Gamova. Always made it difficult for her. Better from Villa, back to 4 points. So much to be done though still.
Well, it's good to hear the Villa Corteze fans starting to get into full voice again.
couple of the Fenerbahce ultras have joined them up there. Might be learning a few more Italian songs if you see blocks like that again. Been a good run this. Back to within 3, and well, you put the blockers on it, John. He's taken a timeout.
Well, an interesting decision, because I don't know whether it's absolutely necessary, but the coach has deemed it to be.
Oh, it's clever. Just stops any momentum, nips the little resurgence in the bud. But they still be hoping it does. Continue what they were doing, and they'll be home and dry very soon indeed. Clever and very well executed by Babashina. Perhaps a little injection of enthusiasm that was needed.
Well, very clever indeed, and that takes it here. Second technical. 4 points to difference, and at the moment you'd say that it was very much Kazan's to close out. They don't look as though, even though Villa Corteze have managed to steal a march a little bit in the recent exchanges, that they're going to cede this advantage.
No sign of Puerari today. Carocci has played since the start as a libero. Well, at least they're in good spirits still. Back to domestic action next week. So this could be the final passage of play here. Beneath the proud standing Azerbaijani flag in the capital of the country, of course. Independent now for 20 years, Azerbaijan. A member of the Soviet Union, of course. Carocci. The Pincerato. Has to be done inside the antenna, nicely done. Sending gets it wide for Pavan to hit. Great dig out. Eshova. Mentioned the fact that she was a libero. Well, can be in a different guise. Here she is doing effectively that job. There's Gamova, who misses. Was a nice build-up.
Rare for Gamova to miss from that sort of position, but she has, as we've said, not looked at her best.
Martina Guigi's turn from the service line. Flowed it this time. Babashina off the block, out we go, and it's 17-13. The moment Kazan not adding to their advantage, but certainly siding out and not allowing Villa Corteze to draw things back level. Jordan Larson time again. Been a successful time when she's been involved this year. Strong serving. Good work by Caterina Bosetti. Chased that one. Didn't need to though. Should be happy not to have got a touch on that in the end. Time to celebrate as it goes out. 17-14. Still work to do for the Italians if they're to force an unlikely shift in momentum here. Babashina. Machno. Try again with the same combination. Once more, it doesn't work. Carocci's turned a bump set wide. Gamova tries to force through. Still going this one. Great defensive play from both sides. Gamova again. Carocci this time. It is put, well, touch on the way through maybe. And this is where it might get interesting.
Well, it obviously just catches the line here. Yep, inside the line. And poor decision making from both teams there, but I have to say Gamova's decision right at the end to not go for power was an extraordinary one.
Well kept alive. Carocci doing a great job as libero there. Another point for Villa Corteze, and they'll start to believe in themselves. And there it goes. Errors being made by the Russians, and they are not happy. I can tell the coach out of your picture. He's about to press the timeout buzzer.
Second timeout taken, and that with the lead down to just 1.
So close here, Kazan. They can sign up for 2 and keep it going all the way. They need to keep the energy. Villa Corteze finally finding a way into the match, and it's been a long time coming, almost an hour.
Isn't it interesting? Very interesting that it's come when Lindsay Berg's not on the court. Change in at setter has made a big difference, and Giulia Penterato looking very good in her first season with the club, of course, and hasn't been the favoured setter so far. But after playing with Parma, Perugia and Sassuolo, 24 years of age, she looks the part. Eleonora Lobianco, of course, the preferred setter in the Italian national lineup.
Here's Pincerato. Float serving again. Great serve. Back to 17s.
Well, they'd started to take their banners down. They've gone very quiet indeed. Now, the Villa Corteze supporters are in full voice.
Uliova. Gamova. Just what Kazania needed. Had not scored for quite a while.
And then it's Babashina on serve.
Kronetsovska.
Cleverly done by Pavan. I do beg her pardon there. Haven't seen the introduction of Krzyzanowskaja, the second setter. Babashina stayed on. Interesting to notice, Alicia Magno has been pulling some grimaces down on court and massaging her shoulder. She looks as though she could be in a spot of bother.
Setting up wide at Gamova. Chance here for the counter-attack. This could be Villa Corteze's opportunity to go ahead. And there it is. Pavan. Now then, game on in third set.
Well, they won the third set against RC Cannes yesterday. Are they about to turn this one around? Remember, they were down by 5 points at 14-9. Kazan just started to take their foot off the gas in the run into that second technical. And they haven't really managed to get it back on.
Golden chance this. Magno still kept alive. The wall has improved. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Some poor handling. Double touch given Corteze now. Villa Corteze, I should say, with a 2-point lead. For the first time in the match, Dinamo Kazan are in trouble.
Borisenko, the skipper, there with the double touch. She went to send the ball upwards. No team timeouts to take either.
Chiabozetti. Babashina's back now. Gamova down the line. Great defense by Lucia Bozetti. Pavan will go again. All sorts of mix-ups there. Has to go long, this. Carocci. Out wide. Oh, big block. And what a time to make it.
That was a very big point, but they're still trailing. They need a point on serve.
Hugely important, that, for the Russians. Maria Borisenko, time to make amends for her error a moment ago. Top serving. All sorts of problems here. Bozetti has a long way to do, but does it well. Or does she? No. Wide. Back to 20s. It's a 5-point game now. Timeout taken by Villa Corteze. The Russians, having dug themselves out of a hole, now have the chance to finish it off once more.
Well, at least we have a game on the cards now.
Well, more evidence there of what you spotted a moment ago with Machner receiving a bit of treatment. Neck muscles perhaps tensing up a little too much. To be Ghent in a weekend is very, very difficult. Of course, in the space of less than 24 hours, certainly as far as Dinamo are concerned. They played in the later beginning last night. Villa Corteze have had a full day to rest up.
Poroshenko to serve, the mascot. Once again, trying to get the crowd behind Dinamo Kazan here. 20 all.
Pincharada setting up. There's the block again. 21-20. And what a time to make it as well. Just kills any sort of positive talking that might have gone on during that timeout.
No timeouts left for either team, remember, as well.
Poroshenko. Big responsibility on our shoulders here. Effectively serving away for this bronze medal over the next few points. Another block. This time it's out. And there's a light relief for Villa Corteze, who's side out to take us level. Not the sort of position they want to be in, though, because if they manage to side out here and don't get any points back, they're going to be facing a match point before they have a set point chance. Makari Wilson to serve. Here's Babashina. Gamova gets it right.
Well, she had gone off the boil a little in this set, but Katarina Gamova seems to be back on point in the last few.
Leisha Machner. Pincharada work to do to make that bump set. Bozzetti, confusion there, just about kept alive. Great work by the libero. Had to get there, but could not make the reverse pass. 22-22. Villa Corteze still hang on.
Disappointment there, definitely, for the Russians after all of that great work from Jordan Larson to get across to it. Change to be made, though. Pavan being replaced by Cruz.
Here is Orea Cruz. All the talking being done by Guigi at the net. Cruz to serve. Decent serves, nicely taken down by Machina. Larson is very clever. They edge closer. One more side out for them. And it could be the match point chance. That is, of course, they don't manage to do it off their own serve. Cruz takes her leave. Back comes Pavan.
Jordan Larson, yet again, just cannot speak more highly of her today.
Great hit with real power.
And that's a confidence booster for Pavan as well, because she's been blocked out the last couple of forays forward on attack. Caterina Bozzetti to serve. This is the most important point of the match as far as Villa Corteze are concerned.
Good serve as well. Babashina's up there though. Oh, it's long. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Well, you would have put your house on that. Set point for Villa Corteze.
Babashina. Gamova. Nothing wrong with that though.
So right back into it. And Moros on serve. Keep the side outs. It's going to remain as things stand.
Good serve. Well dug out in the end. Long. They claim a touch. Oh, they'll get it. They will get the touch. Set point chance again. Still a chance to force another set here for the Italians. Oh, good takedown. Here's the chance, and there it is. We go to set 4.
Brilliant, brilliant perseverance and outstanding play by the Italians there.
Given away, you have to say, though, by Dinamo Kazan.
Seizing on their opportunities and taking every single chance they got. We've got one of the supporters down here mopping sweat off his brow, obviously really involved in that third set.
This is how it happened. Something we didn't expect rather, with 5 points difference there. Let's have a look at the best moments of that set. Now, can these girls pull off what we thought might have been the impossible? He's certainly given them confidence. Gamova and co will be so disappointed with themselves. Big test now for them to pick themselves up mentally. 5-point gap they had. It looked as though the bronze medal was theirs. Fans taking banners down. They can't believe it now. No dancing at the end of this set, that's for certain.
It really was an outstanding performance from Villa Corteze. They have won themselves back into the match. They give themselves a decent chance, and well, psychologically they have a good start to this next set. Things could start to go their way.
All smiles again down there. Pincerato being congratulated on her introduction and involvement. Time to go again. Villa Corteze, a set down. 2-1. 4th set in this bronze medal match here in Baku, Azerbaijan. That's how it looked for set 3 as far as the statistics are concerned. 4 blocks apiece. Kazan making more errors this time and having to pay for it.
Some changes to their starting 7 as well.
Gamova will continue, as will Macno.
I do actually beg your pardon. The only reason I thought there was a change there was because Regina Moros had taken off her glasses, and they've stayed off.
Babashina, Gamova. Big block, and that's the momentum they want to start with.
Well, it is a big block, but my word, I mean, that shouldn't have been in that position. Gamova's just not going for anything, and she just looks under the weather. She just, there's no conviction behind her play at all.
Well, should she be out there then? That's the question. Borisenko, nevertheless, will continue. Very good serving. Not great reception by the libero. Yes, the Russians will get another chance. This could be 2-0, and it will be.
Macno reacting very quickly there.
Well, back come the glasses now.
There they are.
Got to look after her image.
She's looking after her eyes, isn't she?
Oh, there's that as well. Borisenko. Wide for 3-0 now.
This is the perfect start. This is exactly how they wanted it to go, and as a consequence, timeout taken, and Abondante has seen the danger here.
Well, he will be absolutely irate with his girls. All of that work to get themselves back into the match, and they go and start like this. It's already with too much to do.
Yeah, but the 5-point advantage was let slip in the last set, so I don't think they'll be too worried about it being 3-love. He'll just want to snap it in the bud as quickly as possible.
Head start then. Back they come. 3-0 Dinamo. Borisenko again. Good start from her. Corteze haven't touched the serve yet. That's the side out they wanted. Babeshina is Gamova. Nicely watched and anticipated by Lucia Bosetti. And hammered home well by Pavan for 3-2. They're in the game.
Once again, though, just look at the lack of conviction behind the spike from Gamova.
Ulinova. Babeshina, Gamova, once more she's denied. Disappointingly looks away. Has to set herself for the block again, but that's a wonderful spike.
Great timeout from Abundanta. Just to bring things all square. Looks as though at this stage, real potential we could go the distance. Pavan, great block from Moros.
Dinamo, at the point where they most needed it. Gamova really not looking comfortable, breathing heavily as well. Machno, long serve of hers in towards Carocci. Kept going here by Villa Corteze. And again, signing out well. They look like they're on equal terms. Gamova. Oh, work to be done to keep this alive. Chance for Larson though. Blocked away immediately. Up once more. Great defensive play by Villa Corteze.
Carolina Bosetti going through the block this time, and they're just keeping themselves alive in more points, and they're looking keener. They're scampering around. There's more purpose to Villa Corteze's performance at the moment. And as we were saying, Kazan had gone off the boil. Not only have they gone off the boil, but they're just looking very weak indeed. Makari Wilson not helping her teammates there with a very ordinary serve.
Well down. Long way down for Gamova. Still not comfortable. She gets to her feet. 5 apiece here. Backline hit with power. Venom at its unstoppable to take us to 6-5. Kazan need to find something from somewhere. They are on their way down mentally in terms of momentum too. Villa Corteze on the rise.
Lucia Bosetti there with that spike from the back line, and it was a really firm hit.
Larson blocked. 7-5. And Villa Corteze, well, they've left us all speechless.
After going love 3 down in this set, this is the great response that Abundanta would have been looking for. Well, it wasn't convincing, but Moroz does enough.
Seven, 6. Need to hang in there here, Villa Corteze. If Kazan put the pressure on, they've done better than that so far. They've taken the lead. Moroz, that serve of hers that can do the damage. Gives the spikers so much ground to make up to make the set. Time is bought there. Here comes the attack again, though. This time it's blocked. Larsson's there. And it's 7-7. No way to see which way this is going whatsoever. It's become so unpredictable now, which is what we like.
Well, it's certainly making for more entertaining volleyball than we witnessed yesterday. You'd have to say that.
Long. All the way long as well. Too long for Moroz. 8-7, technical timeout time. Let's see what the coaches have to say.
Unbelievably, this is the first set that Villa Corteze have gone in the lead at the first technical timeout. I've got some more very interesting stats and statistics for you, Rob, if you'd like to hear them.
Let's hear them.
But no, it's very interesting that the dominant force has been Kazan right the way through, and they will still be wondering what they're doing out on court, because they so should have won the third set, and yet to be pipped at the end by Villa Corteze, having led 16-12 at the second technical and also opening up a 5-point lead. Questions will be being asked by them. Villa Corteze can eke out an advantage in this midpoint of this set, in between the first and second technicals, then who knows, we might be going into a breaker.
Breaker very much a possibility here with the enthusiasm and fight that Villa Corteze have found. They're starting to find their best volleyball as well. Peter Dudek might have thought his job was a quick one today. That should have been with Kazan 5 points up. Guigi is doing all the talking. This is Caterina Chiara Bosetti, 18 years of age. Has had a very, very strong performance in the second half of this match today. Villa Corteze fans making themselves heard. Larsson. Good alert play by Bodisenko. Great hit though for that 2-point lead.
You just have to say again and again, Pinturato has been outstanding since coming on as setter of Villa Corteze, and you just question why she hasn't started in place of Berg. Could have seen a completely different complexion to this match if they'd had decent setting in the first two sets. Miscommunication, it's all falling apart at the moment on the Kazan side of the net.
Certainly not going right for Dinamo Kazan. What has happened here? 10-7, what's happening now? Fist pump from Bosetti, as she knows the mental effect and the mental decline of the state of health of these Kazan players. They are lost. Time for the coach to try and help them refine their way.
Well, isn't it interesting? It looked as though he wasn't going to have to call one single team timeout. He had to then take two at the end of that third set, and now he already has to take one in this set. And they were winning 3-love in this set. First 3 points. And now they find themselves 3 points down. It's been an absolute roller coaster of a bronze medal match, and it looks at this juncture as though we well may be going the distance.
Ulanova, Larsson, oh, it's off the net, still time to go here, would have taken a touch. Blocked, and how they needed that, my oh my. Out of nowhere as well. 3 girls jumping in unison and getting the reward.
Jordan Larsson elevating her game once more. spring. And it is one of her greatest features, Lucia Bozzetti, just how high off the ground she gets, considering she's one of the shorter players.
(11-8) then. Serve is a very good one. Makes it difficult as Macno tries to hammer down. Lucia Bozzetti there. Has to be passed a long way this. It will land in, so it needs to be played at. Gamova's blocked, not her day. 12-8. And Villa Corteze all right back in this now.
You also wonder really here whether, as Babashina comes back in to replace Kryzhanovskaya, just wonder whether Villa Corteze, a little stuck in the lights of playing in front of Gamova, suddenly find themselves now, well, less in awe of Gamova. That one does just catch the line.
Well, nothing to be in awe of today, I'm afraid. Has not been up there, not living up to the giant standing she has in the game. 12-9. And still have themselves a chance to finish it off. 3-1. They need to work harder though. And find the technical excellence again. Chance here to cut back one of those points. Larsson, great dive down. Caterina Bozzetti this time. Pincerato setting back wide. Pavan with the power.
Second time of asking there for Sarah Pavan. It was a fantastic set from Pincerato again, though. Working so hard to give her spikers the best opportunity. She now serves 39, a 4-point advantage.
Mistake, big mistake. 14-9. Well, bring on the fifth set, I think the message is.
Villa Corteze look as though they could well run away with this one now, and with momentum flowing firmly in their favour. It's the second team timeout taken by Dinamo Kazan. They are in all sorts of trouble here.
Well, 5 points that difference. And Brishat Gizaludinov, who was very calm before, still fairly methodical in his coaching, but he's not a happy man. Gamova looks like he's in a different place here today. Not at all present. What has happened? Pavan in the meantime delighting her coach. What a turnaround. This will be one of the great turnarounds in recent Final Four history. So close to having match point against them. Pincerato. Babashina sets up Gamova. Lucia Bozzetti's down. Up again quickly to finish off. Well, to me, that looked in live.
That looked plumb on the line to me too, and we're sitting level with that line.
Let's have a look. Well,
it's
completely in. That is a poor decision from Peter Dudek.
Well, unfortunately for Peter Dudek, it was the line judge who gave it out.
He does have the power to overrule him. That's a good serve though. Kazan perhaps taking on and harnessing that little bit of luck.
Oh, you wonder, Abondanza looks on court. If this one goes the way of Kazan from Borisenko, I have a feeling that we may well see a team timeout taken.
Pincerato to set up. There's the block. Worked by the libero who is down. Two jumping in unison this time. Good take.
Borisenko did incredibly well there, didn't she?
Brilliant stuff from Borisenko, as you say. That's long. That is long. No arguments about that.
But how big is that bad line call? Because Villa Corteze would have been 15-10 up. Instead, 14-12.
Well, off the back of it, it's been quite clear that Kazan have just jumped on and carried forward with it. Borisenko still ground to be made up. Two behind. Villa Corteze reassert their own authority though.
Remember, Dinamo Kazan were in a similar position in set number 3, and Villa Corteze went on to win it.
Janova. Gamova. Blocked out. So 15-13. No panic yet from the Italian players. They will be buoyed by the mere fact that they're in this game after looking lost.
Very important point, this one. Need the side out to go with a 3-point advantage at the second technical.
Alicia Macno. I was having to think about that. Played into space. Pincerato. Big cry, big call. Here's Gamova. Kept alive. Pincerato, close to the net. Now Babashina back in control of the ball. That's where Dinamo Kazan have been good. And that's Gamova getting the touch. And now it is nervous time for Villa Corteze.
Well, now you just take a look on the court and you see Kazan suddenly focusing again. They realise just how important that last point was, and they realise how important this point is as well. Suddenly they're raising the game at the important points of the match, and they will feel that they should have already wrapped this match up, and the very thought of going into a breaker.
Babashina back in control. Gamova. Work to be done by Pincerato. Big one this from Pavan, who's denied. Borzetti, too close to the net, and that's a gift. An absolute gift for Kazan. You're back to 15 all. And what has happened here? Big swings in momentum here in this match.
Well, just very naive play by Villa Corteze. All they needed was a simple side out, and they haven't used Pavan. Haven't tried to mix it up by going through the middle either. Their reception's been poor. This is better.
Pavan is there, still alive though. Babashina